Hi everyone, it's Sphinx here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build this small starter base. Before we jump into the video, I'll give you a quick tour around. This is obviously it from the outside. If we head into the sort of front entrance here, we've got a little bit of a porch area. And as you can see, it's quite spacious inside, even though it's quite a small build. We've got the roasting spit here, some decorations, and around the back we have enough room for pretty much everything you'll need in the start to mid game. Obviously your workbench, some spinning wheels, some grinders, smoothie station and cookery, and then 8 chests, which to be honest you could probably fit more in here if you wanted to, but this is just what I've gone for at the moment. Upstairs we have our little bedroom area, so we've got a couple of beds. There's only 2 in this build, but if you're playing with a full party you can still fit 4 beds up here. Basically you have to just move the beds to this wall and have 2 in the transverse direction. So it's pretty simple build. I think it makes a really good use of the space without it feeling too cramped. Then of course we have this alternate exit / entrance on the side of the build. So that's what it looks like, and let's go and find out how to build it. The first thing you're going to want to do is find or clear an area which will fit in a 3x6 structure. Now what I like to do when I'm starting off a build is use these scaffolds to sort of gauge the height of the foundations. Because I just used the half grass walls for this one, I don't want some of the grass walls sort of being at level and then some kind of up because of the uneven terrain, and then some sort of, you know, like way down, and it just gets a bit messy. Obviously if you're playing this in a non-creative world, that'll just be a blueprint, so you won't be wasting any materials building that. So once we've got our starting point here, we're going to go 3 wide and 6 long up the back end here. So that's 5 straight, and then at the end when we're going to do a diagonal piece, straighten it out so it's parallel with the far side. Then we're going to do another diagonal, and then one more diagonal, another straight piece, diagonal back in, and then just finish it off. So this is sort of the floor plan, if you like, of the structure. We're going to use the grass floor to fill this area in. And once you get to this stage, you'll need the triangle floor just to finish off the end pieces. With that complete, it's time to start putting in our stem walls. Now I like to have this purple arrow pointing out the way, just sort of for consistency around the build. We're going to miss out the first row of floor plan there and build a diagonal piece 1 in. Then we're going to follow the outside around, and then when it gets to this bit here, we're going to have a straight wall which cuts this off. This is going to be your door. Then we have another straight wall, a diagonal wall, and this will be your door as well. So we can fill the doors in. I'm going to use these sturdy doors. And as you can see, it's already coming together quite well. I'm going to stop this stage just to fill in around the outside, so we can basically have this section complete and then focusing on the upstairs and the decorations. So we're going to grab our grass stairs and get them properly snapped into this point here, and again on this side. Next time we're going to grab the triangle bracket scaffold and build it into this spot here at the front of the structure, and the same on the other side. Now on the side entrance, we're going to position them, rotate them slightly differently, so that it's just looking like that. And then at this stage we can go across to our acorn fence and start to fill in these pieces around the outside. Now what I like to do is block off these little triangle half sections, because that's where I'm going to put my lights, and I think it's just a nice design feature to have these sort of these areas sort of crossed off. So now that we've got those areas done, we're going to grab this acorn railing and position it just like that. Same on the other side. I'm going to flip over so that these banister sections are on the inside of the stairs, and then we could do the same on the other side. Perfect. So once that's done, we can start to focus on the upstairs section. To start creating this section for the upstairs, I'm going to put 2 walls in the center there, and then we'll put the ladders on the middle wall. Come around this way and grab our grass floors again, and we're basically just going to copy what we did on this ground floor but up above as well. So we'll have all this section filled in. Then when we get to these edge sections, we'll grab the triangle floor and fill them in like that. We can now go upstairs and start to fill in the roof. Now I'm going to use this roof corner here. If you use the roof squared corner for diagonal pieces, you end up with this sort of weird overlap where you can kind of see in the structure. That might be something you like. I don't particularly like it, so I'm going to just avoid that by using these roof corners here. We got 4 in, and we can grab the clover roof and basically just fill in the pieces. I'm going to use the clover flat roof, and then once we're up here, I'm basically going to start to make this space a little bit easier to use. So I'm going to grab the half wall, position them like this, and then do the same again at the front there. And I think this just sort of divides up the space to make it a little bit easier to use. But yeah, that's pretty much the design of the structure, other than this space around here, which I've kind of forgotten about. So we'll grab the clover flat roof and fill in this middle section. Then for the 2 outer ones, we'll grab the triangle half section. Same around the front, so we're going to have this section here is going to be triangular. Then we're going to have the flat roof, flat roof, flat roof, and then on the end here we'll just fill in this space with the triangle roof. So now that is the structure complete, so now we can just start to focus on the decorations. What I like to do is grab the roasting pit, put it here. Also works as a light source, which is quite nice. And then one of the most underrated decorations in the game are these sign frames, I think. So I always like to put these in my builds. They don't cost that much to actually build, and I think the designs are just really nice. Next up, we have this area around the back. I'm going to use the grass half floors just to sort of keep in style with the floor and the ceiling here. And then we can just grab our storage chests and start to fill these in. Now, if you kind of push right back, you'll realize that they kind of get to a point where they don't really move anymore. They kind of like click out, and that's what I use to keep them looking quite even across. Then we could do the same on the top. And just with that little like weird snapping thing it does, it obviously keeps them all in line really well, which I like, because I like when things have like a snapping grid feature. Obviously the decorations don't, but that's kind of the best you're going to get with that. Next up we have, I don't know, I feel like I had the cookery here, right? So we have a cookery, we can sort of squeeze it in this little space here. Then we got the smoothie station, a couple of grinders. To be honest, I don't really use the smoothie station that much, but I feel like some people do, so I'll just put some space in for these things. Obviously we've got the spinning wheel on this side. Last but not least, you can't forget the workbench. And that's pretty much this area done. We can add in a couple of lights, so we can grab the sconce. I like to put one here and then just sort of in the middle here. I think that's probably all you need in this area. And then upstairs we can start to fill in this area here. We'll grab a couple of sconces and put them on this side and this side. When you have 2 lights side by side like this, I think it looks a little bit bright, so I like to take the brightness down to like, I don't know, maybe like 30% is probably okay. And then of course we're going to have the beds up here. We're going to have this sort of dividing plant lamp, probably put that down to like 50% as well. A couple of acorn dummies, just because firstly I think they're cool and they're quite handy for keeping your armor. And then last but not least we'll have the beds and the chests. What you can actually do if you're playing with 4 players, you can have the bed sort of like this on either side, and then one like on this wall and remove the sconce. Maybe put the sconce up here, or you don't need it at all. But if it's just 2, like I play this game in a duo, so I don't really need 2. Something like this is probably pretty cool. Storage chest, just mainly for decoration to be honest, but also quite handy I suppose for your own personal things. We'll add in a sconce up here just for fun of it. But I think this is pretty much the build. Oh, and just before I forget, I normally like to place these lamps around the outside, and I normally set these to like 50% as well. And that's all. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please do leave it a like and consider subscribing to the channel, because I think like I have the lowest subscription to viewer rate on all of YouTube. I think it's like 1%. So if you're not already subscribed but you like my videos in the past, then please do consider it. It's free and helps me out a bunch. Leave a comment of something you'd like to me build next time, or if you have any ideas or comments on how I can make this one better, or something you did, or if you built it, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.